Hello and welcome to the Sandygate Viking Project. I had this idea for a Viking project a number of years ago. Nothing really came of it because I didn't have the land to do it. So fast forward to 2019 stroke 2020, I was very fortunate, came to some money, and very fortunate that John, the owner of the land here, got in touch with a mutual friend and asked if I wanted to have a look at it. So after a bit of negotiating, I became the proud owner of 4 acres of land here in sunny Sandygate, which I very quickly renamed Kattegat. Kattegat is also the Viking series, but it's more importantly it's a passage of water between Denmark and Norway. A good Swedish friend of mine actually calls it Kattegat. And it was all about, being very tight passage to navigate, couldn't swing a cat. Whether the Vikings used cats as a unit of measurement, we'll never know, but they called the stretch Kattegat, and I love that name, so I called the place Kattegat. And during 2020 I negotiated purchasing another 2 acres from the farmer next door to allow for a car park, etc. I then got to work just before lockdown, managed to get a load of sustainable timber from the lovely chaps up at Northern Fuels. Bought pretty much everything that they had, got it all lined up here, and ordered some solar panels and a backup generator and a load of cable and various other bits and bobs, and got stuck in during 2020 laying the groundwork for the project. So during that time I built this office, which will eventually become like the volunteer base. I built a generator shed, I put the solar panels out in the field, I wired everything up, and built a log store, built a composting toilet, built a utility shed, and I live here quite happily in my van, which is parked outside, and been here since 2020. Absolutely love it to bits. The off-grid life, removing myself from the shackles of that bricks and mortar, it's the best thing I've ever done. So at 49 years old, I feel very lucky to be where I am. Unfortunately, I ran myself a bit hot during 2020, and in September of that year I had a bit of a heart attack, so had to take a bit of time out and get myself back up and running again, literally and figuratively. 2021 carried on a little bit slower pace, can't quite remember the ins and outs of it. I was sure I was very busy, some of it must have been Viking related, but by the end of 2021 we had the planning application in, and that was its own little battle with certain departments within government. The planning department themselves were very supportive, very good the whole time. And then into 2022, finally end of June, beginning of July, we got the nod that we had planning permission. So I've got no excuses now, and the next thing is going to be how we move forward. So at the moment I am doing the mundane stuff. So I've built a website, I've set up the Facebook page, as you know, I've set up a YouTube channel, which and I'm also doing the stuff that I really hate doing. So it's things like filling out bank application forms, seeking out insurance for the site, checking on the legal aspects of the not-for-profit and things like that. All of these things, doing a business plan. I mean, yeah, God, I can't. Some people must love doing this, but personally, it's hell for me. So I've got to get all of that done before I can let anybody on the site to even give me a hand, because, Odin forbid that somebody twists their ankle and sues me and the whole project comes crashing down. I don't want that to happen, so I need to protect myself, I need to protect the land, and I need to protect you guys. So that's where I am at the moment. Short term, hopefully, we'll start work on the entrance and the car park, so people can actually come in and park their cars. Quite useful. And build the storage yard, which is very, very important, because, and I'll get onto it, we're going to need an awful lot of materials to make this happen. So that's my plan between now and Easter next year, is to get that sort of part in place, get the tool shed built in the field, and get the workshop built next to the office here, so I can then start moving all of the stuff that's in the current buildings where the Viking village is going to be into them, and get everything emptied and ready for demolition. So how can you help? Well, as it says on the website, there is a section there, and it's split into 3 particular areas. So the first one is donations. Now, as I stressed before, we are not a charity, but we are not for profit. So every single penny that goes into the project will be used for the project, for the building and the running of the project. If it gets to the point where we can't build anymore within this current grounds, we'll look at expanding the site, hopefully, and build into that, because I have got massive plans for sort of phase 2 if phase 1 is successful. If that then becomes saturated, then we will look at either setting up another project elsewhere and build another community-based project on the island, or donate the excess funds to a charity or another project that's doing good work. So there's that aspect of it. So there's donations in financial terms, but there's also, to me it's more important, there is donations of materials. So this site will require a lot of materials, and I want everything to be naturally sustainable materials. So for instance, a barn that's fallen down, please gift us the stone. A tree that's fallen down, please gift us the tree. We'll take it, we'll turn it into materials. Your name will be put on any tree that's brought in, will have your name on it. When it's turned into a beam or a pillar, it'll have the craftsperson's name put on it. When it's fitted in position, it'll have the fitter's name put on it. I want this project to be by everyone, for everyone. So every building will have a tapestry of people's names in it that were involved in putting it together and making it happen, so everybody can be proud of it. I've done my bit, I've come up with the idea, so I want everybody else to shine now. I want everybody else to be part of this. So that's very important. I wouldn't say every single stone will have somebody's name on, that would take some time. We'll also be looking at sponsorship. So your company might be looking at maybe offsetting its carbon footprint and wish to put some money into the project. This is going to be an environmentally sound project. I really want to champion sustainability, permaculture, environmental awareness, etc. So from composting toilets to solar and wind power, for any electrical needs we do need on the site. I want everything to be absolutely above board on the our environmental credentials, so to speak. So again, you might want to offset your carbon footprint. You may want to sponsor a building for marketing purposes. Joe Bloggs Limited, the Longhouse, although we won't have any big plastic banners here, we certainly want to look at making arrangements with people where they can do that. Or you may just as a company be doing quite well and want to invest some money in a project that's doing good things. So from that side, sponsorship, by all means get in touch with us via the website. Love to talk to you. So finally we're on to volunteers. So this site isn't going to build itself. If I try and do it by myself, I'll literally run myself into the ground and kill myself. So I don't want that to happen. I'm sure nobody else does. So yeah, we'll be wanting volunteers. There is a volunteer section on the website. By all means, get in contact. Let us know what your skill sets are, so I can put you in a list and in a group, etc., and stuff like that. We're going to need pretty much all sorts of people, from, I know it sounds daft, but electricians, because I've wired all of this myself up to now. You know, but we're going to need stonemasons, we're going to need woodworkers, we're going to need willow weavers, we're going to, you know, and there might be skills you don't even know you have yet, and that's the ace thing about this project, and this is one of the key things that I'm hoping to accomplish as part of this project. So by all means get in touch, even if you just say, look, I'm not really good at anything, maybe, you know, I can operate a wheelbarrow. Just get your name down, get in touch, we'll put you on the list. As and when we're in the position, we've got all legal and insurance stuff sorted out, and we're ready to start accepting volunteers onto the site, we'll be back in touch with you. So, as I say, you might not think you've got a skill yet, but you never know until you're actually exposed to the elements of the project. So, yeah, please do get in touch. So I talked about my motivations for doing this project. So they're threefold. So the first one is mental health. I've suffered from mental health in the past, not really badly in the scheme of things, but anxiety and depression came out of it through the help of a lot of really good friends. But I understand when you're in that position, how difficult it can be in the environment that you're in. So having somewhere to escape to, like I escaped to here, and I, you know, absolutely love being able to just close the gates and walk through my woods and sit in my backfield and just reflect, and there's nobody about. It's a brilliant escape for me. So I want to share that with other people and allow them to experience that escape. And if you can escape not only location but time as well, go back 1,000 years and immerse yourself in a bygone age, then I think that's going to be really therapeutic to people. So that's a key part of why I'm doing this project. The second part of the project is what I've just touched on with the volunteering. So for instance, we've got a couple of really gifted craftspeople have offered to help with this project, and they've got years and years of experience in their particular areas of expertise. And when we get the volunteers in, you might find somebody who's said, oh, I don't really have any skills, but they've got brilliant hand-eye coordination and they've got an absolute knack for wood carving, and it's a skill they never knew they had, and now they do. And that might take them away from watching Celebrity Love Island on a Friday night. Rather, they'll actually set up in the kitchen and do a bit of wood carving and do something with their hands and actually make something. And if I can do that with a few people, then that's absolutely ace as well, because we've become far too reliant on technology, and we need to bring back these manual skills. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully the next videos will be a little bit less boring, a bit more hands-on. We'll get some footage of the site and what we're hoping to do here. And yeah, so please share the Facebook page, like it, follow it, and the YouTube channel. Sandygateviking.com is the website, so please visit that and have a look through it. You'll see in there the About Us section of what our core values are for the project, and the how you can help section. If you know of any companies who might be interested in helping us with the project, please ask them to get in touch. Likewise, anybody who wants to volunteer, get in touch. Thank you very much for your time. See you soon.